Ready to roll?
Ready.
Okay. Welcome to the press briefing in Pasco County for two fires. One is the campground fire that is in that direction behind me. The other one is the Silver Palms fire up along the Suncoast Parkway. Let me talk to the campground fire first. The campground fire is 75 acres still, 100% contained. They're continuing mop up and improving the lines on that fire. They put 9,300 gallons of water on it yesterday. So that fire is looking much better. The Silver Palm fire is 35 acres, still 25% contained. And I'm going to let Keith Musil explain the tactical operation that we're going to do today on that Silver Palms fire. Keith?
Good morning. Keith Musil, Center Manager with Coochie Forestry Center. What we're going to try to employ today is because of where it's at between the Suncoast Parkway and the residents, we're having a hard time getting our heavy equipment between the back of the homes and the swampland in there. So what we're trying to let it do is ease its way through the swampland up to the back of the homes. But at some point in time, we will have to conduct a burnout operation of that. What we're doing today is bringing in a mulching machine that will help widen that line, that defensible space between the homes and where the fire is. Once we get that in place, we will try to counterfire, backburn, black line, whatever you want to call it, that fuel out of there and get it to burn out. Hopefully we'll do that without with a major wind, which is allowing, because of the dense swamp, the wind's not getting into it, it's not allowing it to pick up, and the vegetation is low vegetation, so it's burning real slowly through there. So it's doing what Mother Nature intended, but it's making for some uneasy nights for the residents. Hopefully today we'll have it better in check, but without able to get good control lines around it because of the homes and the proximity to the woods, it's a little bit tougher. Any questions?
How's the weather going to aid you in the next couple of days?
Right now, the weather is aiding us. It's actually hampering us a little bit. Humidity dropped today. Yesterday it was in the upper 40s. Today it's in the mid 30s. That's actually making it more active today than it was yesterday. And as we go through the heat of the day, it may even get more active. So the nice part is the wind's not cranking for it, and that's allowing it to stay in check because it's not getting from above the canopy down into where the fire is actually at. So it's keeping it in check, but activity is picking up.
How many yards is the fire from the back of those homes?
Anywhere from, say, 60 to a couple hundred. It's fingering out through the swamp, so one finger's closer than others, so edges are intermittent of where it's at.
When you do your back burn, will the people who live in the streets that are contiguous to that have to leave their homes?
They won't have to leave them. We'll have the engine crews, the brush engines, sitting there able to respond. They won't have to leave them.
So you guys will wait for the fire to come up to the tree line and then fight it with hoses in the backyard?
We're wanting it to get closer before we set fire, because when you set fire, when the two lines of fire come together, it's going to stand up and get more intense. Right now, some places are only arm lengths away from their back screen porch to the wood line. We set it and they come together right there, their screen porch is going to be gone. We want to protect their facilities, their residents, and that's why we're trying to do the mulching machine in there to give us that extra protection.
What can the residents do to help you, if anything?
Just be mindful that we're there watching it. Some of them are trying to put out fires with shovels. Stumps are going to burn. It's going to burn for weeks on end, even once we get it burned up behind their yard. It's just that dry. We don't have enough water right now to flood that swamp and put it out. Mother Nature's going to have to do it. But in the meantime, we're here, Pasco Fire Rescue's here. We're watching it, making sure that they stay safe.
How long do you think it might be before you have to do that back burn? Do you have any kind of guess?
We're hoping that we can try to do it today sometime. But we got to get all the equipment in hand, and that machine, we had a machine working last night. It broke down. The other machine coming in is about an hour out right now.
Do you have the total number of firefighters and staff for the fire?
Judy, do you have that? We do have it, but I don't have it with us.
Do we have acreage and containment estimates?
acreage on that fire is because it's slow moving, so that's why you're seeing the increase by 35, so it's up to 35 acres now. When we do the back burn, we'll add another 20 to that. So, and containment is still 25% because we can't get the lines. And the mulcher that's in there, we don't count that as a control line because it's not down to mineral soil. We're just mulching it, so it will burn, but it just won't burn at the same intensity. So what we're doing is moving the woods back away from the homes. We're just making that wider. I would like to say one of the things that the residents can do to help us is please limit traffic in there because we have a lot of engines, a lot of brush trucks, a lot of people and staff in there, and we want them to get safe. And they have to be able to respond quickly if there's a spot. So if you don't have to go anywhere today, if you could just sit this out with us and not have a lot of traffic in and out, that would really, really help us a lot. Chief Fossa?
Good afternoon. First thing I want to lead off with is today that the Board of County Commissioners enacted a burn ban ordinance, which is restricting burning. And I would like to elaborate on that a little bit because it seems that some press releases went out and are a little bit inaccurate. The only type of containers you can burn in are ones that are UL approved and are usually for cooking, things like that. The only time you can burn otherwise is if you get a permit from the Division of Forestry or a federal permit. Any other types of open burning on the ground are prohibited. So we need to be cognizant of that. So we're trying to get everybody to stop burning. We can't stop Mother Nature, but we can try and control our own acts of nature. Next thing is, with the back burning going on today, we're gonna have extra staff here. Engines, we're gonna have a couple of engines, some brush trucks, and they'll be positioned where they're doing the back burning at. So that way we can watch the spot fires. Another thing is, residents, I know you see that fire coming up to your house. Do not spray the woodlands. Don't do that, because all that's going to do is slow the fire down and make it extremely smoky. If you want to wet your yard down, that's absolutely fine. I've seen sprinklers on 24 hours a day since the fire started. But don't wet in the woodlands. Last thing, the smoke. There's going to be a lot of smoke. I've reiterated this numerous times. If you have some type of respiratory condition, please close your windows, turn your AC on, and just weather it. We don't want people getting sick because of the smoke. Any questions?
Do you have a length of time for the burn ban?
It's until we deem the weather has changed and the humidity has come up. So it'll be time of is what'll end up happening.
So you can use your barbecue grill, but not an open pit fire in your backyard.
Exactly. Any other questions?
You might want to tell people that in the microphone, that distinction, sir. That's very specifically.
Okay. You can use your barbecue grill at home to cook on, but you can't use open ground, open flame places to try and do a marshmallow roast or something like that. It's strictly closed containers that are UL approved. Any other questions?
No construction burning, no agricultural burning.
Nothing, unless they have a permit from either the state or the federal government.
Judy, may I ask you a question?
Yes, certainly.
Okay, because Pasco County just put into place this burning ban. Has there been any discussion about a statewide burning ban? Is there a mechanism for a statewide burning ban?
All right, Keith, come on up here.
There can be a statewide burning ban. In '98, a statewide burning ban went into effect. That is enacted by the Commissioner of Agriculture. But right now, the agency itself is letting the counties handle it, because when the statewide goes in, then agricultural, land clearing, and everything else will go by the wayside as well. And right now, we're limiting our permits on a day-to-day basis.
How close is that contact with Putnam's office?
Our director is day-to-day contact with the Commissioner's office and the Governor, as you saw by the executive order yesterday.
All right, Kevin Guthrie, Director of Emergency Services for Pasco County. I'm going to start off with adding one thing to the burn ban that I want to make sure we're clear about. And I'm going to ask Keith to come back up here in just a second and basically put the exclamation point on this. Trash pile burning is not allowed. The Florida Forest Service does not issue permits for trash pile burns. Do not call the Florida Forest Service to get a permit for a trash pile burn. One of our local media affiliates that is standing here today actually has that on their website. I would ask you to review what you have on your website, make the necessary changes, please. They do not, if you need a trash permit, you do not call the Florida Forest Service. I'll ask Keith to come up here and cover exactly what they do permit, and then I'll finish out the rest of my statement.
Okay, the permits issued by the Florida Forest Service are agricultural, silvicultural, residential, and non-residential land clearing. At this time, because of the fire activity in the Withlacoochee district, we have not issued permits probably for the last week. They have been no burning for that, no burning for broadcast burning. Again, we will revisit that on a day-by-day issue based on fire activity. So today, no burning for anything. Yard trash or anything that could be permitted is not allowed.
Thank you, Keith. So in wrapping up, the Department of Emergency Services, we're here to support, obviously, the agencies that are here with anything they need. I will say on camera that we appreciate the Salvation Army. Again, they have been out here providing meals around the clock to all of our individuals that have been involved in this. People that have been donating food to them include local Chick-fil-A, Domino's Pizza, Publix, that we're actually standing in their parking lot on. Beef O'Brady's that is here. So again, we appreciate all those companies coming forward and helping our firefighters that are responding to this basically for an entire 24 hours. I will reiterate one other thing that Andy Fossa, Chief Andy Fossa, brought up. For the overnight hours, as we get into this back burning, you know, if Chief Fossa is in command out here right now, if he sees that we need additional engines in here as that back burning starts, he's going to call for those engines. Again, with the state declaration yesterday, finance right now is not an issue, so we can call in additional overtime crews as we need to, and we will do that. If there's resources that we need, we will obviously call those resources in as well. So that, as far as an emergency services standpoint, that's where we stand right now, ready to support the agencies that are here. If we have any questions, we'll take those now, and then we will address our Spanish-speaking community after that. Leah? So again, I'll let either Judy or Keith handle that.
All right, so the time frame for the back burn is probably early afternoon. They would like to start it at 2, but we are weather dependent on this, so we are gonna have to do that spot weather forecast and see what the weather's like and how much the gyro tractor was able to mulch. We also have our fixed wing up again, so he's coming, he's on his way. So he will be spotting that fire for us and looking for us. I also believe that we have our Florida Forest Service helicopters on standby, so if we need them to drop water again, they'll be here. And Pasco Fire obviously has other resources that they can send into there. I did check, and the answer to the question that was asked was how many staff do we have here at the moment? We have about 50 with more on standby. I would like to say, too, that Swift Mud has given us resources. So on the campground fire, they are assisting with that. So it truly is a unified command. FHP stopped in and talked to us this morning about the roads and the highways and the signage. So we have great cooperation with our community partners on this fire. I'm going to let Paula come up and talk to our Spanish residents about what's going on.
Good afternoon, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Paula Baracaldo, del Condado de Pasco. Este es el informe más reciente que tenemos acerca de los incendios forestales. Desde esta mañana se ha prohibido la quema de basura, cualquier tipo de uso de fogatas o fuegos artificiales, a menos que el usuario tenga un permiso federal o estatal otorgado por el Departamento de Agricultura de la Florida. El primero de los incendios, que es el de Silver Springs, 35 hectáreas han sido afectadas y 25% del incendio ha sido controlado. El Servicio Forestal está combatiendo el fuego con un fuego controlado que va a tomar otras 20 hectáreas adicionales. Sin embargo, se le pide al público, por favor, que no se acerquen a esta área a menos que sean residentes de la comunidad debido al uso de maquinaria pesada y debido al humo y poca visibilidad en el área. El segundo incendio es la Reserva Ecológica de Serenova, que está al este de la calle Moon Lake, donde 75 hectáreas fueron afectadas. Sin embargo, este incendio ha sido 100% controlado gracias a la actividad de entidades locales y estatales, donde 9.300 galones de agua fueron usados para apagar este incendio. Sin embargo, le continuamos la recomendación a nuestros ciudadanos y al público que por favor mantengan cuidado en las horas de la noche y por la mañana debido a la poca visibilidad en las carreteras, que tengan precaución cuando estén en sus casas, si tienen problemas respiratorios, que por favor cierren sus puertas y sus ventanas, y en caso de que tengan alguna pregunta, por favor se comuniquen al Centro de Emergencia del Condado de Pasco al 727-847-8102. Muchas gracias. ¿Alguna pregunta? Thank you.
So in summary, I just want to say that we are committed to putting these wildfires out and containing them. We will have another press briefing here at 4 p.m. because we should have started that burnout by then. So we'll be able to give you a little bit more information at 4 p.m. Okay? All right. Thank you, guys.